Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who's really tired after kidnapping and imprisoning 40 horror villains and action stars. It's David Cross.
I am lucky I escaped with my life.
How did you catch Bruce, like Jaws? Not Bruce the shark. That was the name of the shark on the set. Like, how'd you catch Jaws?
Sleepy time tea in the chum. It worked. He went right to sleep, or she went right to sleep. It depends on which movie, I guess.
Yeah, there's several different ones, but yeah. So you got that. I mean, you went back in time. You went to the future. These worlds don't even exist, and you got them.
Yeah, this was my my bucket list of what I need to do with my life. You know, I woke up one day and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to capture 40 movie characters and put them all in one location and see what happens. And I've achieved it. I guess I could just retire now.
Yeah. Because listen, I've always had faith in you, right? I've always been like, this guy is incredibly talented. I've known you since grad school. Like, this guy is wonderful. But when you told me that you were going to try to kidnap Sarah Connor, Johnny Utah, Santa Claus, Rama from the raid, I was like, good luck. Like, I think you could. I didn't doubt you, but I went, that's like, hey, see that 20-foot crocodile over there? I'm gonna go wrestle it. Like, that's that kind of like, well, like, it's a bad idea, but
and it worked out though.
Good, but you did it.
I was just completely disarming the entire time. I was like, I'm not gonna fight any of these guys, but my patented sleepy team technique works.
Did you use a phone booth?
I mean, I'm sure I've had to at one point. I had to go into the Matrix.
Did you Bill and Ted it? Oh yeah, there's either the Matrix or the Bill and Ted phone booth.
Yeah,
not the one from Phone Booth though.
I don't even remember that movie.
It's Colin Farrell in a phone booth.
Well, good for him.
And Keith Sutherland's like, hey man, I'm gonna shoot you.
I mean, 90s were a different time. A movie like that would get put out into theaters, and early 2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Instead of being released directly to Hulu.
Yeah, it's a Hulu movie now. All right, so David, we were recording an episode, and you went, Mark, I have an idea, and I'm up for anything. So you want to tell them what we're recording today, what we're talking about today, and where this idea came from?
Yes, we are going to do a March Madness style bracket called Hacktion versus Hacktion. And what that means is we are pitting action characters versus horror characters in a 4 round tournament to see who is the best character. And the way this will work today is that we have a list of 20 horror characters and 20 action characters, and we are going to draft this bracket live, and then we're going to discuss who would win the fight until we have one character left. And that what should we crown this character? Right? We didn't talk about this yet.
I mean, the Hacktion champion.
The Hacktion champion?
Yeah.
Yeah. MMF's Hacktion champion.
MFF Hacktion champ. The movies, films, and flicks Hacktion. There's got to be a Hacktion champ. There's got to be a better one. Hacktion. What's
Hacktion,
like
Hacktion hero?
Yeah, the ultimate Hacktion hero.
Yeah, that's perfect.
There it is.
And so when I said we have 20, we're not going to use all 20. We actually are only going to have 8 per team. So this is random. We don't know what this is going to be at all.
I like it. And it's fun. We did the work. So David did a lot of work. He put all the characters, he did pros and cons of each, and then their miraculous feats. And then he did that for the horror villains and the action heroes. So we have lineups of all of them. We kind of know who they are. I watched like Battle Royale again yesterday. I'm ready. I've been doing my research, and this is going to be good.
Yeah, Mark, I also watched Battle Royale last night, prepping for this pod, because it's the only movie I couldn't remember on our list. And I was like, I started late, first off. I was like, I'm going to watch an hour of this, then go to bed. It's midnight and I'm still watching this movie. And I got to get up at 7 a.m. And I was like, well, I failed, but I'm glad I failed because this movie rocks.
Yeah. And we picked a good character from it. So I think we'll be good to go. Let's get going. Do you want to get the bracket seated and we'll jump into it?
Yeah. So we have 4 divisions, just like March Madness. So we're going to start in the North Division. Mark, do you want to do your action or horror, and I'll do action if you use your number generator, or do you want to just have me do it all? We can put it in.
You do it all. You're the man here.
Okay. So this is for our first action pick, and it is Beatrix Kiddo.
Oh, Kill Bill's Beatrix Kiddo?
Yes, Kill Bill's Beatrix Kiddo. She is very strong with the sword, hunting, resilient. It's going to be a tough one. And she's going to go up against.
Oh man, it's happening.
Jaws.
All right. So you know what I love is, so before this episode, we decided something where where these fights would be taking place. So originally you and I were kind of talking about the Death Race Island from the Paul W.S. Anderson movie, where it's a prison, there's a race course. But then we eventually decided on the island, Hashima Island, in like off the coast of Japan, that was used in Skyfall. So it's an abandoned island city. There's like mountain ranges and trees, and there's apartment complexes, and we also added some roads in here to kind of make it more to make it easier for certain characters. Like we don't want to take Furiosa and make her battle, Gabriel from Malignant, and not
in an underground cavern where Malignant Gabriel is going to easily win.
Yeah, exactly.
We want a fair shot across the board,
and
as much as we can.
Yeah, we don't want that underground city with all the cars that he was in. Like we're not doing that. We want to kind of even out the odds a little bit here, make it the same for everyone. So yeah, we have this really cool. Look it up. It's called Hashima Island. That's where it's taking place. But imagine some roads. Are we doing like a lazy river around it, maybe too?
Yeah,
like
that's
inside
great.
of it. So there's a lazy river inside of it. And so we have Beatrix Kiddo versus Jaws.
I never would have guessed that. Okay, we're going to move on to our second pick. And for action, we have...
Oh, I'm excited.
Evelyn from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh,
I love this movie, Mark. I think I've talked about this previously on this pod. I saw it. Then I went and talked to my girlfriend, now wife, and I was like, we're going to go see this again tomorrow. It is phenomenal.
It's incredible. Wonderful movie.
Mark.
Who
are they going to go against? Who will Evelyn fight?
What's happening?
Number 1, Gabriel.
Oh,
that's I think this is going to be a hard fought fight. I do not believe Gabriel has a significant advantage over Evelyn.
Well, it depends.
It depends on who Gabriel is at the moment.
No, and who Evelyn is. That
is true. That's a really interesting fight. Okay, we're going to drop down to the southern bracket. And for action, we have Rick O'Connell from The Mummy.
Everyone listen to our Mummy episode, our Mummy episodes that we recorded.
Yeah, and it's the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, 25th anniversary.
Yeah, that is a movie I absolutely love. And I understand that Rick straddles the line between horror and action. I think it's more movie. Action. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's very much an action movie.
It's an adventure yarn.
And Rick will be fighting...
Oh, man.
Pearl from Pearl.
Rick O'Connell versus Pearl? Oh, man.
You can't win them all.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we're going to have Furiosa.
Oh, Furiosa.
Versus Willy from Willy's Wonderland. I don't even know how that one's going to work.
An animatronic puppet versus, oh man. That's perfect.
For our next two divisions, we are going to do horror first, and then we're going to do action.
Okay.
All right. So in the East, we have Sarah Connor from Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Oh my gosh.
Which is a heavy hitter.
Heavy hitter. Please get someone really weird.
Against.
Oh man. Who's it going to be?
Amber from Ghostface.
I was kind of wanting that. Amber's a monster.
And sneaky. Very sneaky.
You know what's funny? That was the name I was just looking at, hoping that she got pulled. That makes me very happy.
Yeah, I should say that we we're going to look at this when it's all done. And there's a character in here that we really, really want in that got missed out. We can substitute one in or re-roll if you want.
Okay.
We can talk about that after it's completely finished.
I kind of like just letting it roll.
It does make things very weird.
We'll talk about, let's get our draft in and then we'll go. Because I think it'd be good if certain characters were left out for me.
Okay. All right. Next up, this is a horror pick. We have Trantor the Troll from Ernest Scared Stupid, which is a must include for this podcast.
Yes.
Versus
perfect.
Scott Pilgrim. Oh my God. I love it. I love that.
Yeah. That's why random's the best. That's why, like, if we couldn't plan it out this well.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right. Next up for horror, we have Uber Jason, which I am very excited about, honestly.
We need Uber Jason.
I can't do a horror podcast without talking about Jason. I feel like I am the resident Jason person.
You are. We've talked a lot about Friday the 13th, and we have another episode coming out, but I'm holding it for Friday the 13th.
And he will go up against Santa Claus from Violent Night. Wow, that's a big fight too.
David Harbour against Uber Jason. Oh my gosh.
Okay, this is our last pick for the bracket. Now we have, oh man, Gremlin Stripe. I can't believe that one got picked.
Listen, Stripe's a monster, and there's water.
Oh yeah, that is very scary.
This could be bad.
And Stripe is going to go up against Luke Hobbs from Fast and Furious 5.
Good old Dwayne Johnson. So now that everyone's picked, there's some that I would have loved to have talked about, but I'm very happy that Rama from the Raid was not picked because I don't think I could have had him lose. So I would have been very bullish about him, because Iko Yuri is my favorite action star, and he's in 3 of my favorite action films since 2010. So I wouldn't kill him. I couldn't kill him. Do you want to read who was left out of the action category, David? And I'll read who's left out of the horror.
So for action, we are missing John Wick, Indiana Jones, Ellen Ripley, Johnny Utah, Ethan Hawke, Ethan Hunt, John Matrix from Commando, Lee from Enter the Dragon, Nanska. I don't know how to pronounce Nanitska. Yes, from The Woman King. Again, a movie I really love.
Yeah.
Rama, Chev Chelios from Crank, which I was really hoping would make it.
Yeah.
And John Spartan from Demolition Man.
Well, do you want to put Chev in there?
No. I want to chat about this. I have one that I think we should swap out.
Okay. And then on the horror side, we have Rose the Hat from Dr. Sleep. We have Jung Kyung Chul from I Saw the Devil. Mitsuko Suwama from Battle Royale, who would have been cool. Like she's great. Red from Us, the mother from Barbarian, the It Follows creature from It Follows. We have Michael Myers from Rob Zombie's Halloween, Jennifer Check from Jennifer's Body, Annabelle from the Conjuring universe, Sebastian Kane from Hollow Man, Megan from Megan, and the zombies from Train to Busan.
Ooh.
I'm happy with all. I'm ready to roll. But if you make a case for it, I'm happy with whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm going to make a case for redoing Pearl. Because remember, this is taking place in the movie. So in the first movie, we know nothing about Pearl's past. And she is a deceptive older woman who I'm concerned just wouldn't be able to fight her way out of the first round, especially against Rick O'Connell. We also don't have to change it. Maybe she is sneaky.
So who do you suggest goes in there?
I would re-roll.
Okay, let's re-roll it. Let's do it. I mean, Pearl, she's good with an axe, but like her stuff is fueled more by like sneak attacks. But I like her alligator work. Does she come with alligators? I would allow
that. I would allow alligators. Yes.
Okay, so want to keep her and I
do want to keep her. She has some backup. I'll keep her.
I love it. Let it roll. Keep it Pearl.
Okay. So this is how it's going to work, Mark. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of these characters and decide on a winner. Okay. So first up, Beatrix Kiddo versus Jaws. And now, what do we want to say about Beatrix Kiddo? Martial arts fanatic, excellent with a sword. Downside, she's just a regular human who's really, really good. I think her greatest feat, defeating the Crazy 88.
Did you say feet because of Tarantino?
No, but it fits. Pun unintended, but I get it. Essentially, she's John Wick with a sword. You give her a sword, she's going to slice up the room.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Jaws. Large.
Yeah.
Strong.
Strong.
Could eat a boat.
Yep.
Can't go as many places as Beatrix Kiddo.
Yeah.
But if she gets in the water, it's chomp time.
Is it chomp time? If she has her sword?
I don't know if that sword's going to get very deep into into Jaws, because we saw in Jaws how they had a hard time like sticking the harpoon barrel. Like a harpoon would definitely penetrate the skin. I don't know if it'd go that deep though.
So how's this going to play out? We kind of set ourselves back here a little bit by putting Jaws in the water, but I like it. We got to figure it out now. So
yeah,
listen, Jaws is great, but Jaws, they bring a tiny boat out, right? And Quint sabotages it. And a lot of the deaths from the shark are caused by like skinny dippers or dogs in the water or kids on a boat or a guy trying to help a kid. Like it's Jaws's attacks are very, let's see, they're very opportunistic. And Jaws is just big and wants to eat. It's a rogue great white. So Beatrix though was shot, paralyzed, came back from the dead, moved her toe, and has killed so many people. Like she is just bent on revenge. So
Can she swim?
The problem is this what if Jaws hadn't killed any of her relatives? So would her heart be in it if it wasn't for revenge?
Jaws' heart would not be into it unless for revenge. If this island doesn't have anyone from the village or anyone from the town, I don't think it attacks. Because my interpretation of Jaws is that it is 100% a revenge film.
Jaws Revenge?
No, the first one. I think the first one's a revenge movie itself for all the things that happened to sharks during. Did they say they killed a bunch of sharks at the beginning?
Yeah, because Jaws killed some people, and then they went and slaughtered a bunch of sharks to find Jaws. So then Jaws is kind of like, are you saying Jaws after that massacre? Jaws is like, you missed, and I'm pissed now. It's like Jaws of Revenge. That's a psychic shark that sets traps and has a psychic link to Miss Brody. And it swims from, the East Coast to the Bahamas to kill them because it has a psychic link. So that one wants revenge. The one from 2 is just another shark. The one from Jaws 3D is pretty crazy because it goes after the kids in Florida. So I just think, this is going to sound crazy, but I think Beatrix probably has this because how's she going to get in the water? I just don't see her dying after everything she's been through.
Okay. I'm going to go with you on this. I agree. I don't think she's going to get in the water. You're right. And she'll probably just literally drop something on top of the shark to kill it or trap it and just like, you're done. Like, I don't even have to fight you. You're like, oh, you go through this lazy river. Oh, now you're stuck in the lazy river. What are you going to do? And that's it. It's not like, it won't be, you're right. I don't think it'll be fast. I think it'll be over really quickly now.
Yeah. She's got it. I mean, we set poor Jaws up, but this was good. We had to figure it out. So the winner's going to Beatrix.
Beatrix, winner.
Okay.
So next up, we have another complicated one, Evelyn versus Gabriel, both who have different personalities at different times.
Yeah.
I think that if Evelyn has her martial arts capabilities, she would destroy Gabriel.
I think Gabriel would destroy Evelyn.
Oh, what?
Because Gabriel destroyed an entire prison cell of hardened criminals and then wiped out cops with guns like they were nothing, and throws chairs better than any other person ever on this planet. Like, can run, jump, hide. I mean, it is a pure evil creature.
That's a good point.
Evelyn, though, but like the thing is, they both need help because Evelyn has to get help with, in her radio, go through this door, do this, like use these butt plugs. Remember that when you fought?
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? And she defeats the daughter, but Evelyn, it's a really interesting one.
I think you made a really good point here. I didn't consider. Evelyn needs the support to get in. Gabriel doesn't actually need support. He can take over pretty easily.
Yeah.
And if it comes and like he has the surprise attack, the get it over with quick. I think you're right. I think Gabriel takes this.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Evelyn's incredible, and the Oscar was deserved. But if we're just on this island, Evelyn's awesome, right? But I just think Gabriel's next level. Really, Gabriel slaughters people. So I gotta go. I gotta give the villain the win on this.
Yeah, and let's not forget, Gabriel also has, I believe, telekinesis.
Yeah.
That'll probably be explored more into the future. But it's not just strength and speed. It's supernatural in general.
Yep, I like it. All right, so
Right.
we have the North good here.
Oh.
Now we're at Rick O'Connell versus Pearl.
Yeah, and so what are Rick's feats? What makes him just insane?
I think at the end of the world, if 8 people survive, he's one of them. Like, so
Yeah.
remember in the beginning when everyone gets killed, but he's left, and then he's in a prison, and then his neck doesn't snap when he's hung, and then he lives, and then he battles Emotep, and then he gets married, and then they battle Emotep again, and the Scorpion King, and then he battles Yetis and Jet Li. Like, he's just a guy who's gonna just keep going. Like, he's good with a gun, good cardio. He survives everything. So I think Pearl will be tough for him, though.
Yeah. I think you touched on something that I wanted to mention for Rick is he is an Indiana Jones type character. He gets around by just luck and wit. Like that is really his special power is that he has extreme luck. But let's not forget he's a monster with a rifle. Very funny, and he's a big dude. He is a big dude. He could probably take out Pearl pretty easily, but let's not discount her. What does Pearl have? She has that giant gator. She has deception.
She's been killing people for decades.
The experience.
Yeah, good with the pitchfork.
Very good with the pitchfork. Yeah.
I mean, you know what's about her is like Rick's gonna have a hard time with her because she's not right, and like Rick battles mummies. Rick battles other soldiers. Like he doesn't battle psychopaths,
little old ladies.
Killers. What? Yeah,
you battle little old ladies, and I think that's the key here because if she comes in and he underestimates her, he's gonna get damaged immediately.
Like,
yeah, because she'll, like you said, she'll like, I don't know what he would do, and he'll really out cleaning his gun and then get run through with a pitchfork.
Yep, look through a hole and get stabbed in the eye.
Yeah, but that's where the luck comes in, Mark. Because he's so lucky, I think she would attack, probably with a pitchfork in the dead of night, where he's distracted, and his luck will come in, and she will miss, or he will fall over or something, and then it's game over from there.
Game over. And the alligators, he'll just run over them. Like the alligators, they'll pull a James Bond and just run over them.
I forgot all about that movie. And that. Can he destroy alligators? I know he can take out alligators. We've seen him take out legions of demon monsters. Like,
yeah.
All right. I am convinced Rick's going to take this.
I mean, it'll create some good jumping scenes. The alligators. I love a good jumping over an alligator scene. But yeah, Rick's got it.
Okay. Another difficult one is up next. Furiosa versus Willy from Willy's Wonderland. So, Mark, what's Willy's greatest feats?
I mean, fear. It's like Willy's horrible. I just think, I don't know, like they do satanic rituals. They're cannibals. They murder families at the establishment. I mean, he's a notorious serial killer. But here's the thing. Furiosa has survived everything. Everything. Like, even from the prequel, like she has risen through the ranks and she's living in a world where there's half-life bodies, there's radiation, there's no water. She has risen to a point of power. And so I don't think she's going to be that afraid of Willy. I think Willy relies on fear and his team. He doesn't have his team here. If you remember in Willy's Wonderland, which we talked about, you should listen to it, that it was his team who goes after Nick Cage first, and they all get destroyed. So I think Willy, he's just slow, big. I think Furiosa is going to take him.
You just hit on what I wanted to talk about. Speed. Speed is literally a killer in this series.
Yeah.
So just to give some ideas of what Furiosa's good at. Like you said, she's a leader. She has a lot of experience. She has her war rig. She has a robot arm. She has tons of guns hidden everywhere. But I think what the real thing that's going to set her apart from Willie is that she could drive that war rig at least 30 miles an hour, and he just shuffles along. Yeah. I think he's roadkill. He tries to step out, and she's just like, hits him, done.
Mm-hmm. She's not in a restaurant, locked in a restaurant with 8 other monsters. It's just the 2 of them. She's got it.
Yeah, she absolutely has it.
I would actually love it because, Willie preys on people and preys on their fear. Furiosa, I think she would look at him and be like, I've dealt with worse. Like she's like, that Rixus from Mad Max Fury Road, he'd be tougher. That guy's huge and fast and strong. And he shoots a gigantic gun without blowing himself backwards. Like he'd be a tougher villain.
Yeah, in a 1-on-1 fight. Because remember, she lost a fight to Mad Max.
Yeah, well, it's Mad Max. And like that was a brutal skirmish though. That wasn't like 1-on-1. That was the ladies and Furiosa versus Max and Nux. So she's winning.
But we're not here to litigate.
Yeah.
This. We're here to say she crushes Willie from Willie's Wonderland.
Yeah, Willie's dead.
Get out of here and your contraptions. Okay, we're going to jump over to the East Division where we have Amber from Screen 5 versus Sarah Connor. Mark, I need you to talk to me about Amber because she was so excited to have her on here.
She kills Dewey. Like in this movie, Amber does a lot of work. Like like she has more kills than Richie. She goes undercover. She's a wild card. Like and listen, she kills Dewey. Like she's tough. Like the thing about Amber is like she's just I don't know, she's just tough. I know I keep saying that, but of all the Zanotti and I covered all of these movies, and you and I have talked about 4, and I've counted every Scream and all the Scream movies, and I've just watched her a lot. But I don't know, like she is just a monster. Like, and she's good with a gun. She shoots Liv right in the face. Takes out Dewey. I don't know. She's just kind of a tank. So I don't think she could take out Sarah Connor, but I think Sarah Connor would get stabbed.
I 100% agree. I think with Amber is because she's smart. I think she would lure Sarah Connor in with her like, I don't know what's going on, or pretend that she's killed and then sneak up on her from behind. I don't think Sarah Connor gets out of here unscathed. But what saves Sarah Connor? She is tactician.
Yeah.
Knows explosives, knows guns, fearless.
She's not dying. I know they kill her off in Terminator 3 because I think leukemia, and then they bring her back in Dark Fate. But she's not like, listen, you see her in Terminator 2. She's a Terminator herself. So her doing the pull-ups is like one of the most iconic scenes in any action film ever for any character. But the problem, all right, so here's the thing though. Amber, like they said that Richie was a dominant and he probably found her and radicalized her, but she's the psychotic one. She's the one who kills most of the people. So she's the one taking the biggest chances. So yes, Sarah Connor is going to win because Sarah Connor is just a survivor and she gets in it. And she might have a bulletproof vest. But
she'll definitely have a... Yeah. I mean, we know in the Scream universe how important a bulletproof vest is too.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just think she's fought T-800. She's fought T-1000s. I would say Amber's like a T-45, which is still good. but yeah, she's not winning. But I'm telling you, I just respect her. Amber's a beast.
It's amazing how that series, it's one-upping each other each series. It's pretty good.
Roman doesn't get enough respect. He was
no, absolutely not. He's great.
Oh no. Okay. So what do we have? We have Sarah Connor moving on.
Sarah Connor's moving on, and then we have Trantor the Troll versus Scott Pilgrim, which is a bizarre, absolutely crazy matchup. And I'm going to talk about Scott Pilgrim, right? What can he do? Video games.
Yeah.
He is very, very good with swords, especially and just essentially cartoonish action. He has it all. He's kind of a dummy. Or he is a dummy.
Big dummy.
Big dummy. And then we have Trantor the Troll. I'm going to pass this over to you.
Unstoppable. doesn't mess around. Like Trantor doesn't play games. Trantor just gets you. And Scott's a big wimp. Like, you know, the final Knives shows up to help him. You know, you have Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Like he wouldn't think of Milk.
He's the power of friendship to defeat everyone.
Yeah, it's and listen, yes, he can fight with a sword. He can basically fight like a character from Street Fighter. But it's, you know, Trantor the Troll got hit by a truck and was fine. Trantor the Troll, there's like a V8 truck and he is pulling it backwards with a rope. He can use voice modulation. Scott Pilgrim doesn't have a strong mental game, which I think would hurt him. But I think he's supernatural.
Scott. Yeah, but he's like video game world. In a way that so is Trantor, which actually helps Scott because in a way, Ernest is like that.
Yeah. But he wouldn't think about love. He wouldn't smooch Trantor and he wouldn't milk him.
He definitely wouldn't milk him. He wouldn't bring that. He'd probably bring Miak and really thinks it works. Okay. I want to give one thing in Scott's favor. Extra life.
Yeah.
And Trantor also isn't trying to kill him, would be turning him into a statue.
But all he has to do is touch him then. No, he's not a kid anymore though. Scott's in his 20s, so he can't statuize him. Right?
I think this is a lot closer than we think. So there's probably a sword fight in which Scott gets his sword broken, but probably hurts Trantor, but doesn't like really hurt him, like scratches him, and then gets killed and comes back with his extra life and then gets killed again because it's not going to happen. He just does not have the ability without having his team to support him.
I mean, at one point though, he gets thrown into space and then crash lands on the ground. So Scott has impenetrable skin.
That's good. That's a good point.
Like, so yeah, I feel like Scott would mentally fall apart though.
That's his weakness. He's not his mental game, his preparedness. He's just not there.
He doesn't have his guitar to like blast stuff at him. He loses the bass battle, but wait. He puts milk in Brandon Rouse cappuccino.
Oh my God. I'm going to be honest with you, Mark. I'm going to be honest with you. I saw Trantor as possibly taking it to the championship, but this changes everything.
Yeah, the vegan police came.
Do you think Trantor's vegan?
It has to be. The trolls have to be.
I'm going to be honest. We're moving. I think it's Scott now.
Yeah, it's over.
I can't believe this. This was.
I'm so happy we remembered that. People would be screaming at us.
It's an MMF favorite. Loses to Scott Pilgrim.
But you know what, though? Scott tricked a guy and won with milk.
Yeah, you have to. I totally get it. I'm glad you remember that. I was really pushing for Trantor because I love him. Okay, this is also a really bizarre one. Uber Jason from Jason X versus Santa Claus. So I think everyone knows Uber Jason's greatest feats in this movie. He puts a guy on a screw who gets screwed to death. He turns into a massive regenerating cybernetic monster with a crazy machete, and he's generally unstoppable. No matter what you put him in, he gets sucked into space, still fine. Turns into a meteor, still fine. Like, what are you gonna do to him, especially in this environment?
And you know what's crazy? You know, in Violent Night, Santa Claus he takes out all those people in the farmhouse. He sticks grenades in pants. He's a Viking warrior. So I think what this Santa Claus is good at is close combat fighting. And that's going to get you killed against Uber Jason. We saw what happened when the android tried close quartered fighting. Done. Brodsky put up a good fight in just a suit. Brodsky's a monster after getting stabbed. So that gives us hope.
All right, I'm going to bring something up with Santa Claus. The magic bag.
Yeah.
Can he pull something out of that bag to disarm Jason? Can he pull Jason's mother's head out of that bag?
Here's the thing, though. Jason has been defeated Chris defeated him. Not Uber Jason, mind you, but Uber Jason has been defeated. And he's not in space. Like, this sucks on so many levels. Like, he's on this island. and Chris is tricked. And people in 1 through 3, he was tricked. So he is very killable. And Santa Claus is very hard to kill. And I would say as the experience, he's got Chris beat. So, but you know what though? Jason defeats Freddy.
Does he?
But he cuts his head off.
But isn't that a dream?
Wait, is it a dream at the end?
That's why he winks at the camera.
Oh.
I don't know though. That's up to interpretation. If you want me to say, did he defeat Freddy? It's a yes, because I'm going to pick Jason every single time.
Yeah. And now it's Uber Jason.
Yeah. But you bring up a really good point here. Santa Claus isn't someone who's going to be stalked. And has to be stronger than Freddy, just physically.
Mm-hmm.
And has stronger magic or on par with magic.
Yeah, but how does he stop Uber Jason? You don't like he's like T1000, T800 strength.
Yeah. Well, you're on an island, right? Like if everything that's
Jason
true
could punch those buildings down.
You'd run through them, walk through them. But if you're on an island, and if you're going by the logic of all the other movies that lead up to this movie, you know, or do we want to just stick with this movie? Actually, we should ask that question.
I mean, but you know what though? Brodsky gives him a good fight in Jason X at the end. Remember when they clash head to head? And Brodsky had been stabbed through the chest, and we thought he was dead. So a man mortally wounded puts on a spacesuit and puts up a good fight. And the android was too cocky. Remember that? Remember the android was like, haha, I blew you up before. I'm going to do it again. Nope. You know, he's not going to do that.
The problem is he regenerates. Jason regenerates in this movie. That's like a massive problem.
Yeah.
Like in no other movie does he regenerate, but you're right. He does regenerate in this movie.
Could he swim?
Jason does not swim. No.
There's water all around.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, because I was going to bring in the boulder from the previous movies and how water seems to be. It's really, you got to trick him to going to sleep, right? You got to trap him somewhere that lessens his power, which is underwater. I
mean, like if he gets knocked off the island for a 10 count, it's over.
I mean, he'll be. I believe Santa Claus can knock him off the island for a 10 count.
How heavy is Uber Jason? Thousands of pounds?
I don't know if it's thousands, but we're probably talking 500, 600 pounds. That's a lot, but he's like metal too.
Yeah. He's slow.
He's very slow. Yeah.
It's like, how do you, thousands of years of experience or hundreds of years of experience?
Here's what happens. Santa Claus pulls his mother's head out of the bag and then tosses it into the water, and Jason has to go fight it and gets counted out. 10-second count out. Ring out.
I like that. That works. I like it because he moves slow.
Yeah. I don't want to get rid of Jason. He is, again, he's one of my favorites, but I just don't think he makes it past this first round.
No.
Any other one else? I think he would, honestly. He would probably beat most of the people on this list. Speaking of other people on this list, Stripe for Gremlins. So Luke Hobbs, I'll take action here. Leader, uber strong, great behind the wheel, fought Dom to a standstill, or
he lost in 5.
He lost it. Yeah, he lost in 5. Which
then he beat up a super soldier in Hobbs and Shaw with Jason Statham, but he still beat up a super soldier. And he lifted a 300-pound man like he was a beach ball.
Yeah.
This is the thing, though. Stripe jumps in the water. You know how many things are going to pop? Like, he would have to find. So he's a tracker that could work in his advantage. Stripe isn't going to want a frontal assault. So Stripe is going to immediately go to water and pop out all those gremlins. I mean, hundreds were created.
And then Luke has to kill some babies.
Yeah.
Kill baby gremlins. Stripe is also a master of the chainsaw.
Yeah. Master of the chainsaw.
Can't forget that. And clever and smart and tricky.
Yeah. It's going to be an island overrun with gremlins.
What time of day is it?
I mean, I think everything starts at like dawn.
I don't think we would handicap Stripe by having it at night, having this battle during the day. Because then it's immediately over, right? Like, there's not much they can do. I think we would have to have it at night and Hobbs biggest advantage would be to survive to the daylight.
Yeah. The problem is, how do you kill? You're not killing Hobbs. Like Hobbs holds a helicopter and a thing together, and he has a car.
I
Like
think
he'll blow up a lot of them.
I think this is a fight where he survives, but he doesn't win. And what I mean by that is he gets beat up pretty bad, but the sun comes up and it toasts Stripe and the Gremlins, and he makes it out, but he's significantly hurt.
Yeah. Because I don't see them killing him overnight.
No. I think you give him a gun, he's going to be smart. He's going to sneak through, hide, run them over with his truck. He can make it through to the morning. He's one of the characters that I know that would happen.
That's a good point. Yeah, that would, yeah. Because you just can't kill him. Like he gets tossed out of, and remember in Furious 7, he gets exploded out of a thing and lands 40 feet onto a car, and he just has an arm cast. And the way he gets rid of that arm cast is by flexing.
All right, I think Hobbs has this one.
Oh yeah, we got it.
I do. Yeah. We are getting some favorites that really shocking answers, shocking decisions here.
This is crazy.
Okay, so we're moving into the quarterfinals, and I got to ask you something. Do previous rounds injuries carry over?
No.
Reset. Street Fighter rules.
Fighter rules.
So in the quarterfinal of the North, we have Beatrix Kiddo versus Gabriel.
Okay, here's where Beatrice isn't messing with Gabriel. If she has a sword, she is going to kill Gabriel. Gabriel is tough. Gabriel can throw chairs. Gabriel can beat up prisoners. Gabriel has that. But like, Beatrix ain't playing. Beatrix is going to slice the hell out of Gabriel. I love Gabriel. You know how much I love Malignant. I adore that movie. But nah.
I don't see it either. Unless Gabriel's like really able to use the Malignant power. The telekinesis, which really didn't show much of other than the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Gabriel's biggest strength is the scene at the end, the big scene when he takes out all the cops in the building. Beatrix Kiddo did that too, basically with the Crazy Idiots.
Yeah. As a human.
It's like, yeah, exactly. So I'm going to take Beatrix as well. I think it's more clear cut than I would have assumed, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I love Gabriel and the weapon from the trophy, but I don't know. Beatrix is crazy. You just don't mess with Beatrix.
This next one is wild. We got Desert Warriors, Rick O'Connell versus Furiosa.
Oh man.
Got luck versus skill.
It just sucks that they have to kill each other.
I know. Or ring out, but
or ring out. That's true. Or like I tap. So she has great aim. Remember when she puts the gun on Max's shoulder and kills the guy from a long way out? She can drive. She is an absolute survivor. Like Rick, man, defeats the Scorpion King. Rick defeats Imhotep. Like he survives everything.
I mean, if you just put them together in terms of like accomplishments and feats, Rick O'Connell has greater feats.
Yeah.
He just does. He does.
And he's 6'4" and like 230.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's not apples to apples. Do you think Rick O'Connell could take Mad Max?
No.
Okay. I was going to say if he could.
Wait. But Tom Hardy. Like, I think you could take Mel Gibson Mad Max, but I don't think you could take Tom. Okay. Tom Hardy and like Warrior and Dark Knight. He's a pit bull. And also Tom Hardy knows jujitsu. So I just think the way I look at Tom Hardy is like a pit bull that will bite your neck. And did you see what he did to those war boys in the beginning when he escaped them all? Like he was chucking them around like I said, beach balls. So,
all right, I think I've made my choice here. I think Rick takes Furiosa. I think Furiosa probably tries to blow Rick up and fails because of Rick's dumb luck. Yeah,
Rick. I mean, if you think about it, he survived that plane crash. He survived the water thing. He survived Yetis and Jet Li. I mean, the guy is not human. So yeah, and he's good with weapons too. Remember when he fought the things in the first Mummy, the two mummies?
Yeah, he could pretty much do whatever he wants.
Yeah. All right, Rick. Because he's an Indiana Jones type who just don't die. Like they don't, you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, they just don't die until they find someone to die. We're going to find out next, because that means it's Rick O'Connor versus Beatrix Kiddo, which we'll get to in a moment.
That's not going to be pretty.
Okay. Sarah O'Connor versus Scott Pilgrim. Something I've never thought I would ask at any place at any time. Again, what it comes down to, is Scott superhuman enough to beat Sarah O'Connor?
No. So, all right, he could get by. All right, so I think he could, he won the battle earlier against Trantor because of his extra lives, like the trickery, like the milk. Sarah Connor. Oh, wait, you have Sarah O'Connor. I like that. But Sarah Connor is not going to die. Like, she's not going to be fooled by milk, right? She's not going to be fooled. Like, she's going to have a sniper rifle. Scott's going to be out looking at cool things and be like, oh, look at that. That's neat. And then he's going to get shot.
Yeah.
She will kill him too. Like, she won't just hurt him. I think Sarah Connor will kill him.
That's the scary thing about her, is that she's good at what she does, and she doesn't have a problem killing people. Like, it's just like, if you're in my way, you're dead now.
Yeah.
All right. She's Sarah Connor. I think that
he's too naive.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. The only thing you would have going for him is like, look, I look like your son, maybe, but he doesn't. So that's the end of that game. Okay. So next up, Luke Hobbs for Santa Claus.
All right. So we have two unstoppable forces, but one is magic.
I mean, is Luke Hobbs sort of magic?
Yeah, no, they're both. You're right. His skeletal structure and the way that he held a car, and he held a helicopter and a car on a chain, and his arms didn't explode out of his sockets.
Here's something I believe about. I believe in this. I don't think Luke Hobbs could run very fast. He did in Fast 5, but I do not believe that he has much stamina. Like, you get into a grappling contest with him, you're gonna lose. But I think Santa Claus is gonna run
acid buildup.
Yeah, I think Santa Claus is gonna run circles around him.
And the only reason he's like a John McClane Santa Claus, he can just keep going. He's the Energizer bunny. The lactic acid is gonna pool up in Hobbs' veins. He won't have his big carbo load meals there. And the battle could go on for a long time, and Santa's going to win.
But do you think Luke Hobbs has any advantage with his giant Jeeps?
No, because
I don't think it works unless it's a car race. Like, you take him out of a car, he's significantly less dangerous.
And give Santa Claus a jet ski or a sleigh, he'll be fine. So I'm telling you, like, Luke Hobbs. Yeah, he doesn't run. He ran in the favelas, but that's on top of buildings, and he was just looking cool. Like, he's not going to go more than 50 yards after that.
I also believe that of The Rock too. Like, he skips cardio day.
Yeah. So for me, if we're just going to talk, Santa Claus.
Okay. We are now down to the semifinals, and I'm gonna make a quick note here, listeners. Someone is mowing their lawn again. I apologize if you hear it in the background. Hopefully you don't. So semifinals, we have Beatrix Kiddo with her sharp sword and martial arts versus Rick O'Connor with his rifle skills and luck, and we have Sarah O'Connor with her sniper rifle and need for protecting the world versus Magic Santa Claus. We're going to start with Beatrix Kiddo versus Rick O'Connell.
Listen, there's levels to this game.
Yeah.
And Beatrix is next level. She's the ringer in this competition.
You think so? Think so?
I think Rick is an incredible fighter. He's a very reactive fighter. When mummies come at him, he can fight them. When he's being chased, he can shoot at them. Like, he's an all-around package. But so was everybody that she fought in Kill Bill.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like, she fought the Crazy 88s. One of them could murder tons of people. Go and she takes out Lucy Liu. Like, that's like Orenishi. Like, that's that. I can't. Rick is just gonna die. I don't think she'll kill Rick. I don't think Rick would try to kill her.
But they have to. That's the point.
Oh, wait, but you said there's a tap out.
There's a tap out. Yeah. Would she? Okay, I do think Beatrix would win this. I do. Your point about her being basically taking on master assassins, and Rick could maybe go head to head with one of them and come out completely messed up. And Beatrix took out several of them in a short order.
Yeah.
It all comes down to the crazy 88s every single time.
Yeah.
Right? She is just heads and shoulders better at martial arts than Rick.
Yeah. And
Rick
she
has his
learned from
gun.
that grandmaster. She has incredible training. Her cardio won't fail her. Like neither one of them is going to fail for cardio, right?
No,
like neither one of them is going to, like, I really do think that she'll respect Rick. Like he's the type of guy that will hit you with something you don't even see coming because he got lucky. Like he could throw a garbage pail 40 yards and just land on her head. Like I think that's how good he is. But there's just levels, and she's a master assassin who kills master assassins. So I'm going to go with her.
Yeah, I agree. It hurts my heart to keep Rick out of this. You know, he is a fan favorite of mine. Okay, going over to Sarah Connor versus Santa Claus. By the way, all the horror people have been killed. Like the action stars are the superior action versus Hacktion so far.
Yeah.
Oh, but they will be, period. Would Sarah Connor defeat Santa Claus?
She'd shoot him in the. I don't know. That's really tough.
Again, it's if she just wants this over, she will long distance shoot you. That is a problem. I think she does defeat Santa Claus and all his magic tricks and his toughness, because Santa Claus is a close quarters fighter. Sarah Connor is a distance fighter.
Let's look at the mindset. He just wanted to drop off cookies.
Like now he's fighting for his life.
Yeah, he's a drunk, right? Stuck in a bad situation. And he stays to help out. And, you know, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think the action in Violent Night is that great. Like, I love the final snowmobile chase, but that fight inside the little stable is really not good. But one thing I like about him is he'll just keep going. Like, he gets shot, he keeps going. He's a Viking warrior.
But he's no Terminator. That's the thing. It's like if she can defeat Terminators who keep going, but does she defeat the Terminators that keep going? That's really Arnie in the second one.
But in Dark Fate, she goes and kills Terminators.
Are we counting Dark Fate because it happened after?
I mean, I'm
Terminator
just counting.
2?
But let's look at 2. She's a survivalist she lives on the road. I mean, man, she's just, she's in that institution. She trained her son. She's great with guns. She has a stash of weapons. She's no nonsense. Like the criminals in Violent Night were kind of idiots. They were they didn't know what they were up against. She's been up against it.
Yeah. I mean, it's also a question of distance versus close range, because we talked about this already, but Santa Claus will wreck you if you're in close distance.
You're going to get very hurt.
So if
he's a Viking warrior.
Yeah. So if Sarah O'Connor misses, she will get wrecked.
Yeah.
And that's the question. Does she miss?
See, the thing is, she nails the T-1000 multiple times with shotgun blasts.
So she's good at slow moving targets going straight at her.
But the T-1000's fast.
That's true. That is true.
But I mean, T-800 does a lot of lifting, and the T-800 won't be there.
Honestly, I think Sarah Connor takes it.
I just think she's a better character, so I'm going to give it to her.
She is a better character. She's smarter. It's just, his bag. Like, the question that what is he going to do with his bag that would stop her? Like, what gift would he pull out? Be like, here's a better future. Like, what? And it's a related, like, oh, I gave you a gun. I just think Sarah Connor's in a better headspace.
Mm-hmm.
And that leaves us with our final. It is Beatrix Kiddo versus Sarah Connor. A fight that what
Beatrix is gonna kill her so hard. Beatrix is the ultimate. Like, she's I don't see anybody fighting her in any of these, anybody here. Like, I don't think India, let's see, Maximus. It's a good thing Maximus wasn't in this because that's one of the most believable performances. But she would kill anybody here. Maybe not Rama. The only person I think that would give her a huge fight here is Rama, Maximus. I mean, the zombies from Chain of Busan would be a problem. Jennifer Check is like a succubus, but she would kill her. Mother is, I mean, Red is pretty crafty with scissors. That guy from I Saw the Devil is scary, but Rose the Hat.
Yeah, that was a ringer too.
Yeah.
I think you just didn't get to pick her.
Beatrix wins all day.
I mean, I think this is similar to the other one. It's distance versus up close. And so can Beatrix get close enough to stab / Sarah Connor?
Yeah, but Beatrix is good with guns.
Yeah. I mean, if they got into a hand-to-hand fight, Beatrix would 100% whoop Sarah Connor. Like there's just no doubt about it in my mind. Sarah Connor's skill is she's well-rounded in a lot of stuff. But it
wouldn't be a fight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, I think Beatrix would just wipe the floor with Sarah Connor. I don't even think it would be a fight.
Could Sarah Connor take out the Crazy 88s?
No.
In any version, you don't think she could? You don't think she could roll up with a Gatling gun and say later?
Yeah, but that's like different. Like if she rolled up with a sword, she'd be dead immediately.
Yeah, you're right. But I don't think Sarah Connor's dumb enough to show up with a sword to fight a bunch. It's like she would just like, I either blow you up or I kill you all with a Gatling gun or something. But she was also shot
in the head, Beatrice, and she came back. I'm telling you, man.
I know. I'm acting as devil's advocate here because these are both really good characters. I want to make sure we explore every avenue before we crown Beatrix Kiddo. We want to tell everyone that she is our Hacktion. What did I come with her?
Hacktion hero.
Our Hacktion hero.
Ultimate Hacktion hero. She's not losing. Listen, Sarah Connor in the first one, she runs away, right? In Dark Fate, she does a good job of hunting them. In the second one, she escapes the prison. She's crafty. She's wily. She's smart. She doesn't take chances. She likes to move. She's a tactician. She has great aim. Jacked. Cardio for days. You're not going to, like, she won't stop either. Like, bare feet won't bother her. Because remember, like, she'll just run anywhere. She doesn't care. Probably good at driving. Just a monster. But Beatrice Kiddo is the Crazy 88s. Like, she kills Oren Ishii. Like, she kills Gogo. She kills Vivica Fox. Like, she kills Michael Madsen. That trailer fight against Daryl Hannah. Like,
I am ready to call it. I'm ready to call it, Mark. You convinced me. It's very hard because Terminator 2 is one of my favorite movies. Sarah Connor is one of my favorite characters. So she loses. She loses to Beatrix Kiddo, the ace in the hole. What's another fight name for her?
Just the Beast.
The hospital heroine. the sword
Viper.
Slasher. Yeah. She wins the Hacktion Hero Award, which I hope one might be a regular occurrence. I don't know.
I'm down for more of these. We could add more, and then we could just add more. Who cares? Like, it'd be fun. I love this episode, and honestly, like, we're not being provocative here. I don't think we were provocative. Like, we found a good way for Scott Pilgrim to win with the milk. We found a good way for the people to win. I think this is the logical way that it had to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think Uber Jason against Beatrix Kiddo is something that's a little scary, honestly.
Yeah,
because her close-up ability to stab and his ability to regenerate, I think it would be difficult to fight. The question is, like, how easily can she behead him? If she beheads him, like, that's game over. That's a different.
Yeah. But you know what, though? If Uber Jason beat Santa Claus, Sarah Connor would have taken out Uber Jason because she took out other things.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
So we're there. This was the good final.
Yeah. Any surprises about characters who made it farther than you thought they would?
Yeah, I mean Santa Claus.
Same. Like I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think Santa Claus has got like your bit about Luke Hobbs and cardio was hilarious.
It's true.
You know,
It's absolutely true.
but you know what though? There were no characters in here that I was bullish over. Like I didn't when I looked at this list, I was like, I really hope that Rama's not on it because I think Rama would win it all. Like Rama would, like or Maximus. Like Maximus, Russell Crowe's performance in Gladiator is one of the most believable action movie performances I've ever seen. When he was on screen killing people, I was like, yeah, he would do that.
I'm gonna talk about something. So this is a hypothetical fight because I was like, oh, if Gladiator is in this, like he's a ringer. But I needed to know how his sword and shield would compare to uh um Japanese swords and weapons like a katana. Because I was worried we're gonna end up a spot where it's like Gladius fighting a katana. And here's what I learned. One, you can argue about all this stuff day in and day out, and people do it all the time on Reddit. Um, but I think the general opinion is that a warrior with a shield and a sword would be able to defeat a warrior with a katana, and the shield is the thing that changes the game.
It just depends, right? It depends on the footwork. It depends on the style. Like, is someone overly aggressive? Who's more defensive? Like, I think it goes from like person to person. But for me, Maximus, when he steps in that gladiator arena and just kills like 8 people by himself, like he is peak bad. Like I've never, Beatrix would have a chance though, but our episode would be 3 hours long because I would just be flip flopping back and forth. But I don't know. I just don't know too much about sword fighting to pick the winner between them. If that, like Shinzemon in 13 Assassins, I don't want to see him losing to Maximus, like because he's incredible. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
It's a hacking slashing weapon versus a stabbing weapon.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to, and I've seen different takes on both of them, and I do not know enough to speak eloquent on it other than I personally think stabbing is going to beat slashing, and the shield is the difference maker.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, we did it. We've crowned our champion.
Oh, this was great.
Is there anything you want to chat about before we sign off?
I mean, you just watched I Saw the Devil. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I watched that in preparation for this. I hadn't seen it. I also watched It Follows in preparation for this. Yeah, so we can do both of those. So I didn't know anything about I Saw the Devil. I didn't know it existed until you recommended it. It's very good. It's very gory. I wasn't prepared for how much blood there is. What I really, really like is that the bad guy, he's so determined. Like it's pretty wild. It's good. I do highly recommend it. Just be aware there's a lot of blood, and not like funny gore blood, like disturbing blood.
It's mean.
It's one of these movies.
It takes you to hell. There's like cannibals, and it's an angry, mean, brutal movie about where revenge can take you.
Yeah, and they don't even show the meanest part, which I'm not going to spoil. Is some characters die off screen.
And like the scene in the cab, those two are murderers. Like it's a scary world in that
I think the same thing. There's so many different killers just hiding underneath the surface.
It's scary.
And the pivot to It Follows, I meant to watch this for years and years and years, and I finally got to it. I honestly had felt like I knew everything that happened with it because everyone talked about it so much. It's been dissected till like there's nothing new you can talk about with this film. It's great. It's really, really interesting.
I've got some good. I've gotten a lot of views from that movie, so it makes me happy.
Yeah, I'm excited for the sequel they're working on. And it's a good small scale movie in a simple premise done really, really well. There are some odd moments in that movie where if I was in the position of the kids, like, I mean, I might have wrecked that guy at the beginning of the movie if I was the woman or any of her friends. It's like, oh, you gave my friend like a STD demon. well, then I'm going to wreck your shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
that
also,
guy.
and I find the ending troubling, but I think it's supposed to be that, and which makes it really cool.
Yeah. And just Michael Monroe's great. I think the idea is good. Like it's filled with the score is wonderful. Yeah. That movie hits. I love it. Well, David, this was wonderful, man. And thank you for all the work you did on this. And I think our winner's good. I'm very happy.
Yeah. Well, let's put it up. Let's put Beatrix for Sarah Connor. One, do you want to like do this for MMF? You could just like let everyone think they could do it, or just want to do championship? Who you think would win?
We could show the bracket and then be like,
Yeah.
who would you have getting? Who would you like that? Because we shouldn't even say who wins. We should just say who do you see in the final and who wins.
Yeah. Okay. That's perfect. I would be really interesting to see what everyone thinks about it.
And go to MFF Facebook to check that out. And David, where can people find you?
You can find me at Award Wieners. It's a Oscar podcast where we're going through all the Best Picture winners, deep into prep for one coming up. And you can find me on all the social medias at It's Me, David Cross. And I'm going to tease something here. I have some writing that's going to be published later this year that I cannot give you specifics about. But when it is, I'm going to start talking about it on this podcast.
Dude, that's amazing. We'll bring you on. We'll promote it.
Yeah, I have an idea. for it.
Awesome. Dude, that was, it's cool. I got some cool stuff I can't talk about coming up too. So this is good. We both have cool stuff we can't talk about.
That makes great podcasting.
Yeah. But hey, if you've been listening to our show for a while, you've been listening to David for probably 5-6 years now. 7 years? It's one of those.
Yeah. It's been a bit.
Jeez Louise. And be happy. Like he's crushing it. This is good news. But this is awesome, man. And so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for David Cross, this is Movies on the Flicks. We'll see you next week. Also, just in case you're wondering, the reason I look over here is I have another monitor right here.
I have one too. That's why I was gonna be like, from Beatrix Kiddo later.
Hey, we can do it again.
Okay.
Can we do it again?
Yeah, let's see.
All right, man. I'm so happy about that news you have. All right, so this is me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for David Cross, and for Beatrix Kiddo. This is Movies on the Flicks. We'll see you next week. Is that okay?